Life has been a whirlwind as of October 18th. It's just the momentum is moving, and I'm working to seize this season of momentum. Inducted into the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame.
Really, as we say, God will lay it out for you when He wants you to be something. And
when you get in there, do it your way. The greatness moves. There's always a next.
Hey, you guys, and welcome back to another amazing episode of Behind the Doer, where we find and talk to amazing sports leaders that are in the industry. In addition to that, we talk about the real that goes behind being that sports leader. But I'm so excited because this guest I got coming on 20 plus years in the game, definitely going to be able to give us some great gems. But as I always start out, I always ask my guests, Dr. Hall, how are you doing and how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great today. Life has been a whirlwind as of October 18th. It's just the momentum is moving, and I'm working to seize this season of momentum. I'm good.
Ooh, this season of momentum. I always tell people I love a great affirmation and quote, so I definitely would be seasoning that one right there.
Nice. Please do.
And as we talk about season, before we still jump in, I like to do a rapid fire. So real quick, I'm gonna ask a few questions. Sweet potato pie, apple pie.
Sweet potato pie,
Ooh, macaroni, cheese, or dressing.
macaroni and cheese.
Self-care or go to the gym.
Going to the gym.
All right, going to the gym.
Yes,
Now we know
ma'am.
a little bit about you. She was saying earlier, I'm Southern, but that sounds like some Southern slang right there. Macaroni, cheese, apple pie, as we was talking about that. So I'm not gonna hold too long. I'm gonna allow you to introduce yourself just to tell a little bit of background about who you are and what you're currently doing.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But first of all, Coach Berry, thank you for having me. Always a pleasure to be able to different places and spaces. So thank you for this today. I appreciate that. So now I'll get into myself. So I am Dr. Karen Hall, Pittsburgh native. That's where I'm presently, literally sitting in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Went to school at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas on a basketball scholarship, recruited nationwide. Wanted to go west. Never been out west, and Magic Johnson's story had a little bit to do with that too. But we won't go there. But it was just an opportunity to go away to grow up in all facets. I loved broadcasting and journalism before I got there. I was able to keep a diary when I went to Stockholm, Sweden as a youth. And when I came back, our Pittsburgh Courier, our black newspaper, the sports editor, he edited the journal and put it in the paper. And I knew right then that's what I wanted to do. So I majored in broadcasting or communications with a broadcasting emphasis. Um, After I graduated, I actually got a job at UNLV, sports information with the Lady Rebel broadcast attached. That's the only part I really wanted. But that was July, and then I had to wait till November. So I ended up taking a plane ride back to Pittsburgh, getting a job at our NBC affiliate. So I literally fell right into my career as an associate sports producer. But when you finish bouncing the ball or whatever your sport is, you're kind of like in withdrawal. So I ended up applying for an assistant coaching job here in Pittsburgh, and I got my first Division One assistant job. And from there, I say the coaching journey started. Right from there, love athletics, specifically basketball, and I love broadcasting. Right, so the two go together. And throughout my journey, it's taken me east, south, Midwest. So I've been around the different regions of the country, which I'm like, that's great because I know people in almost about 44 of the 50 states because I've been traveling a lot since as a kid as AAU basketball. So I, thought that was great. And then throughout my coaching journey, some of the stops had the Coach Hall show. And I'm like, yeah, A&T was one of them where it intertwined my head coaching job with my broadcast job or broadcasting because they put the two together and such a natural fit for me to be able to live in both my passions literally at the same time. So fast forward, the coaching journey ended in about 2015. 15 back in Pittsburgh at a community college. And then I started doing a lot of my post undergrad work. So the masters came into fit. And my college coaches had always said, get your masters, right? I got my masters. I was good. Done. And the Lord said, nope, I got one more thing I want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to get your doctorate. And I'm like, doctorate? I'm like, I'm good. So, long story short, I got into the Doctorate of Education and Leadership and Administration program at Point Park University, which is downtown Pittsburgh. It was a 3-year program. So, in 2018, I literally became Dr. Karen Hall. And I still pinch myself like, am I like literally Dr. Hall? But it's a journey,
Yes.
right? It's a journey that, we all have our journeys written for us and just work to be obedient and move in it. And I tell you, the doctorate was one of my most enjoyable experiences because the Lord just laid it out. It just went straight on. I didn't have any kind of hiccups, no valleys. And I'm like, wow. And 3 years went fast. Actually, after the first year and a half, the third year kicked in, and I defended, my dissertation, which literally was on how to sustain high performance championship levels in the workplace, right? But my audience, my subjects were Division I head coaches who either had won a national championship or back-to-back conference championships or both. So those are the people that I talk to get an idea of how do they sustain that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think of any bank or any company, corporation that's been in the business a long time, they probably have a couple of factors like relationships, right? The leadership is strong, like the cultivating the right people. Like those are some of the factors that I got out of my dissertation, my subjects with those head coaches. So it's been a wonderful journey. I wrote a book, 10 Tremendous Leadership Lessons, a guide to leadership learning, actually during COVID. And COVID was good to me. I stayed safe. Thank the Lord, right? But in the midst of it, I thought, what do I want to do? I have 4 books in my head: my autobiography, my communications, my basketball, or the leadership. So I don't have any children either. I did have a little cute little 4-legger, but he took his little rainbow ride.
Oh.
And I thought, what can I leave as my legacy? Like, what can people learn from? And so I did the leadership book, which I had already done 10 leadership workshops prior to the world shutting down. So really, the book was already there. I added content to the book. So it was published in 2021. So it's still quite relevant today.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the book. I'm an adjunct professor today at Point Park University in their sports management program. So I teach sports management and leadership at the graduate level, and then I teach sports management at the undergraduate level. So I do that. Author. I do some ESPN3 / high school coaching or high school color analyst work here in Pittsburgh. And then I'm a CEO, exec director of a nonprofit as well. It's actually 57 years in, and I literally grew up in that same nonprofit. It's called Ozanam, OZANAM, and it's all after school and athletics and exposure program. So I'm very blessed right now. And in October 18th, I talked about the whirlwind. October 18th, 2025, I was just inducted into the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. So that there, I mean, I know I earned it and I grind for it, but things like that to me are blessings from God. There's such a huge, you're talking about the state of Pennsylvania, and to be able to be one of the greats that ever played your sport is quite humbling. So from there, it's been a whirlwind, though, a wonderful whirlwind that I've enjoyed and will continue to do so. I'm going to try to squeeze it all out.
Most definitely. And you are. And going back to you saying, doctor, well deserved. We need more of us that are doctors. So when you talked about that expression of, oh my gosh, this really, as we say, God will lay it out for you when he wants you to be something. And I wanted to get to that when you was talking about your dissertation of being champions. You're definitely a champion yourself. As you said, being inducted, like Go back to that. How was that feeling? Because I really want to get on. I was able to see it on LinkedIn. I was like, wow.
Yeah. It takes you back. You have to go back to where the journey started in your mind, right? It's a lot of reflection. And so the day of the event, I go for walks, but that day I had to play music that kind of fits my journey to take me back there and just let it all out. A lot when you think about the grind, literally the blood, the sweat, the tears, the championships, the overtimes, the grinding in the school, making sure you get your work done, balancing academics, athletics, family, social. It's such a grind. And then I had what I call angels pop out. Like I won't say I had a lot of mentors, but along the journey, when I need to call them angels because I didn't have anyone along the way to just keep guiding me, right? I mean, my family was tremendous. My parents were wonderful. But some people just always have that one person to keep guiding them. Well, I did not have that, but I had angels that kept popping out. And only in my reflection, like my true reflection that day, it just literally moved me. And I'm not a crier by any means, but boy, it just moved me with this. Like I allowed myself to be moved,
Yeah.
right? So by that night, I was all ready to go. Which you get 7 minutes to reflect and make remarks, and I could only do that after I went back though,
Mhm.
right? All those people, all those players, all the teachers, your friends in the neighborhood, it's quite humbling and overwhelming when you get to reflect on a journey. Like it's such a journey. We all have them, but to get to become one of the greats in your state, um, yeah, it's a lot. It takes a lot of words to kind of put it into meaning, but that's the best I can do.
And you can just tell from your body language and expression of, like you said, it was just so much and overjoyed on it. And that's one of the things going back to Behind the Door. What I really wanted to push within building this platform is making sure leaders like yourself are seen, they're heard, and they're supported. We talk about also the challenges, but also giving them flowers. That's why I've been
Mhm.
blessed to be able to do every Friday. I've been doing that, giving female leaders their flowers now while they here, because we wait so long till people are gone before we say, you know
Yes.
what, you made a difference. So definitely thankful that they give flowers early to tell you
Yeah.
the major difference you've made, because
Yeah.
we need more
Yeah.
of that,
Thank
especially
you.
women.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a big thing. And with that, give the flowers. You've talked about so much you've done, doing, did, and doing.
Yeah.
When we talk about these young ladies that are coming up in the game and they're looking up to you, how did you balance or provide, as we said earlier, self-care and workout? How
Hmm.
have you maintained with that? Because it's a struggle for many.
Yeah. It literally is discipline.
Mhm.
Like it's really self discipline, and understanding why are you in that space. And now, when you get there, how are you going to stay in that space? Right? Because it's not just always a bowl full of marshmallows, right? You get some rocks in there.
Mhm.
And when you hit the rock, you got to be able to get back up and be able to kind of get all that off you and keep moving ahead. So, self discipline, priorities. You got to know why you're there.
Mm.
So, academics and athletics, that's in college, in any sport, the equation is academics plus athletics equals that graduation.
Mm.
You can't do the graduation before the other two steps, right? And today of the NIL, that is equals NIL these days, right? It equals NIL, but I still have conversations that money's great. We all need it. But when we take off our last jersey for that last game, all they know is that we look like the next person,
Right.
unless they've seen us all the time. When we have on our jerseys and our name on the back, they know who we are.
Hmm.
But when you go for that job, even with that NIL, you better be able to project, be able to communicate, and be able to have facts about whatever it is you want to do
Most
for this company. Even if they pull you in, even if people pull you in based on your athletic performance in whatever sport, you still got to know to communicate.
definitely.
The simple things of shaking hands and saying hello with the eye contact. All right. The NIL doesn't teach you that.
No. Yes, those are the simple things, as we say, that so many people are gearing away from, but those are the major things that we will always need is those skills, something that NIL, AI can never take away.
No,
All that.
can't do it.
Most
Correct.
definitely. So as you say that, also I love to you put that of academics, athlete, then that equals graduation. So
Yeah.
for the term of that, to make it is prioritized. So
Mhm.
also from that perspective of a sports leader and a coach, what are some other things that like a young coach now can look at, because she knows, okay, I'm going through this. As you said, it's gonna be some rocks in there. But what
Right.
were some of the factors? Earlier I had heard you say factors that was
Yeah.
given. Or what were some of the factors that help you get over the hump when you was coaching?
Yeah. So I know Sonia Tyler. She was a former coach at Howard University. So when I was a younger coach, she says to me, Dr. Hall, oh, excuse me, she said then, Coach Hall, understand this about any coaching job you take. When you get in there, do it your way. Do it how the vision you are walking in with that vision. Because when it's all said and done, everyone's going to come to you. So you don't want anyone telling you how to shift your own vision that you didn't have that part in there. That was one. Two, surround yourself with people who will take care of you. And Pat Summit, former great Pat Summit, she said, take care of those who take care of you. And I hold that with me, right? I hold that with me because they will have your front, side, back, top, and bottom,
Hmm.
right? And vice versa. It's a mutual, right? And then always learn. Keep learning the game. Like, and today, even more so, because every day it's evolving, every day there's something different, right? So, those are some factors that along my coaching path, those were shared with me or I picked up being at a clinic or around those people. Like, be around greatness.
Yeah.
The greatness moves. Greatness moves. Greatness is never just standing there. There's always a next. There's always, like, I like for me. So I'm really excited about being in the Hall of Fame. But guess what? That was October 18th, right? That was a month ago, right? We are a whole month ahead, and next Tuesday will be a full month
Yeah.
past the October 18th. So in my mind, even before that day came, okay, when that's over, now how are you going to move?
Yeah.
So I already had my plan on how I wanted to move because I'm going to soak it all in. But after I sit down, my moment is gone.
Hmm.
It's gone.
Greatness keep moving. I love that. Don't stop. And also don't allow others to shift your vision.
Yes, no,
Man,
no.
um, that right there is just a whole nother interview right there, not allowing others to shift your vision. So
Yeah.
going on there, I love that on there and kind of staying there, because I know just it's pulling on me, and God is tugging me on me like, what did you do to not allow others to shift your vision in your process and journey?
Yeah, I'll go back to my family, specifically my mom, and then my grade school. Like so I went to Catholic, right? So they were highly disciplined. And I was a good kid, I was a good student. So what you told me, I did, right? And what they said, they meant. Along my journey, though, I had to learn to that for everyone that says that to me, it doesn't mean the same as back then. So I had to decipher how they were coming at me
Mhm.
so I didn't shift where I was looking, right? They didn't take me away from where I was trying to get to, right? And I didn't allow myself to go that way either. Literally today, I have 4 lanes that I live in. I mentioned them earlier: athletics, broadcast, education, and leadership. And I literally have it written out as my lanes because anything that someone asks me to do, I have to say, where does that fit in which lane? Because if it doesn't fit, then I'm going to forget something in one of those lanes. I'm going to miss because I'm over here because I want to do that. But literally, it's not moving me forward.
Yeah.
It's not moving me forward. So really understand, where are you headed?
Mm.
Like, what is your direction? What do you want to accomplish? Like every day, What do you want to make sure? Do you want to make sure you connect with someone? Do you want to make sure you go over here to see what's going there? And if you do, what's the purpose behind it?
Yeah.
What's the purpose? Otherwise, you can go do it, right? Because we have multi skills. But when at the end of the day, what did you get done in these lanes?
Hmm.
And I had to learn that. I had one day in my life years ago. I was all over the city. And at the end of the day, I said to my mom, what did I do today? Everyone benefit and I help people, right? But I felt at the end of that particular day, I went all over the place. What did I do?
Hmm.
What did I learn about today other than going out for the benefit of other people and helping them, which is good.
Yeah.
But being self fulfilled, a purpose, like, what did I do?
Wow.
And I said, I will never do that again. A whole day, here, there, different side. No, no. So again, that's shifting my purpose. You see,
Mhm.
there was like nothing was in my middle. I'm in the middle, but they're just pulling me all different ways.
Right.
But you got to recognize that. You got to acknowledge that. And then once you do that, what are you going to do about it?
Hmm.
What are you going to do about it? That's the question in the middle. What are you going to do about it?
That is great of that self-awareness that you was able to see that I'm doing so much. I think a lot of us when we are actually givers or we love helping people,
Yep.
we do and we do and we do, but we never recognize what I'm doing, is it making an impact or I'm just helping other people. So like you said, staying in your lanes. I love that, of writing it down and asking yourself.
Yeah.
And that's some of the last 2 years. I'm just gonna be honest, I started doing myself when people call and ask me to do things, to work with them or speak with them. Is it in my lane? Because
Yep.
as you transition the journey of life, it's going to be some things that you no longer do and you no
Yep.
longer work with, and you got to
Yep.
be okay of saying it's no longer in my lane,
Yep.
and I'm fine
Yes.
with that. And that
Yep.
part is just so important on there.
Mm.
And as we
Mm-hmm.
gear towards almost to the end, not quite to the end, you guys, we got a little bit more that I want to get to. But another thing I want to ask, as you said, angels that you had
Mm-hmm.
on there, because we're saying having a vision, staying in your lane, that can be hard for a lot of coaches,
Yeah.
especially some of our female coaches. So, how important it is to connect and have mentors. And I'm saying it because as a former coach, and also some of the young ladies that I talk to and mentor, it's like, even though we're evolving, especially in women's sports, we still have so many coaches that are searching for help and direction for other coaches that are feeling like, I don't want to talk to her. I don't want to tell her this. And
Yep.
how important it is for us as women coaches to get together to and support, educate, and help each other gravitate to the next level.
Yeah. I mean, it's extremely important. That's a great point. Great point. Here's the thing, though, with that, you got to find those women with trusted ears. See, you can't go to everyone. I know we all look alike as far as who we are, what we do, but they have to be in align with where you headed, your thoughts, your energy, your vibe, your purpose. Because the trusted ears keeps it right where it is, right where it is. You will never hear it again. You won't hear nothing of it. So, and I agree, the coaches, we need to find those trusted ears because to navigate coaching today
Mm,
by yourself, you're going to drown. Going to drown.
yeah.
It's too much, right? It's too much. And I would say make sure it's a leader at your level because assistants are good too, but perhaps they're trying to get to where you are
Mhm.
and they're not sitting in that same seat. That head seat and that assistant seat, not even close.
Mm-mm.
Not even close. So I would definitely say you have to decipher for yourself, right? Those trusted ears, right? And it's usually a small group, but it's a small, intentional, powerful group that will help you navigate when you need a sounding board or you're just excited about something that just happened. They will be excited for you on the other end, right? That's when you know you got somebody with you who's excited with you.
Mhm.
Not, oh yeah, that was great. Meanwhile, wrong vibe, wrong
Right.
vibe. Yeah. So trusted ears is what I consider the most important as we look to find those women
Mhm.
in our profession, right? It's important, but they need to be in that same seat or in an administrative seat or something of that
I
nature.
love it. Trusted is that our leaders, and I'm glad you put that on leaders or someone else, because sometimes we do get that of talking to our peer or our next person because we
Yeah.
want that comfort, we want that sounding board,
Yeah.
but they cannot fully understand, as you say, if they're trying to grab and go up that same rope that you're going up. So making sure you're having someone in a leadership position
Yes.
that can
Yes.
understand and articulate and also congratulate
Yes.
go through
Yes.
that
Yes.
with it while you're in there. And has it been any time when you've had things outside of sports? Because sometimes we get so complete with your
Yeah.
sports. So are there things that you do outside of the sports, or when you was coaching and say, okay, I got to take a relief from this. Sports is here, but I got to step back.
Yeah, well, it's so funny. So I literally in about three of the cities I live had friends who were priests, right? So because I go to mass, and I would bring them over to practice, but we would go to movies, like we would go eat, and not that we're praying the whole bit. It's just a good, relaxing conversation. But I'm like, man, if I really need some prayers, I got the speed down, right? So that like I love the movies. Like I mean, I haven't been lately, but I used to be literally a critic, like during my coaching days when I needed that break. Leave me alone. Let me go watch something on the big screen that can make me laugh.
Mhm.
They're like, what is this? I hold on to my seat because it's suspenseful. Something that didn't have anything to do with basketball,
Yeah.
right? Because sometimes that's all we do. It's all we talk about, right? Let me go find a good place in Greensboro that has the music. What they call those places? The not the juke joint. I don't know. It's the thing you understand.
Yes, we'll say the
Yeah,
juke joint. Yes.
yeah. Well, that's what that's what came to mind. But it's just somewhere to go talk to other
Yeah.
people. Sometimes when they say, "What do you do?" I said, "That's not important. I don't want to talk about that tonight." Then you're back to where you're trying to get away from for a few hours. Yeah,
Man, that is something to take in. I
yeah,
love that it's small, and for the ones who are watching, I hope you guys are gaining this information that she's taking in. And again, going back to why I built this platform and building it,
yeah,
as we go through so much as sports leaders that we forget how to never get away from those challenges and things. And I
yeah,
just think about anytime I talk to people and I'm going to certain places and they say what you did or what do you do, I always revert back to, because I have the name Coach Perry has been told to me. So they're like, oh, you play sports. And sometimes I'm going in places now that I don't even want to speak about it right then and there. So I'm learning to say, no, hey, America Perry or Miss Perry, other than Coach Perry, because Coach Perry has been
yeah.
my name for almost 20
Yeah,
years now.
I get it.
And so,
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, there they go again. They want to talk about sports. Well, I'm like, hey, what's the news? What's
yeah,
going on? With
yeah,
stocks, but it's going
yeah,
back to that. So I love that advice that you gave, or even turning off that conversation and putting yourself
yeah,
in that middle of sports on it.
yeah,
This is
yeah,
great. Has been an amazing interview of knowledge. And I always have my guests too before they leave out to just think about what's one play or one strategy you would like to give sports leaders. That can be in general for women or just all, like one play, one thought. Some people end up taking three plays because they say, you can't win a game with one play. But what is a play that you believe or you want to give to the audience?
Well, I'll keep it in our sports analogy. And I'm a point guard. So you always got to take care of your ball.
Mm.
You cannot pass your ball to everyone, right? That ball is, you got to be strategic where you move with the ball, where you sit the ball, but it has to be right there with you. And then who you pass the ball to. One thing you need to do with the ball, though, is to lift others as you rise with that ball. You can't keep the ball to yourself. Your job is to lift others as they rise, whether it's inside your family, whether it's a friend that people didn't think could. Those are the main ones that you want to go back and lift as you rise, right? Because the bottom line of it is, as a coach, whenever that air is deflated out of that ball, when you walk away, you need to walk away that you did everything you could for your players and everyone around you to lift as you were rising. Because if you're walking away, you're walking into a new chapter, a new season, right? And I talked about the word momentum in the beginning. Walk away with that momentum into that new season and be grateful.
Yeah.
Be grateful for the coaching that you've done,
Mhm.
because forever I don't have biological kids, but I got tons of them all over the country, and you know what I mean, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean. And for that, you've done your job.
Mhm.
You've done your job. So that's all I got.
When you take care of your ball, you take care of everything else. I
Yes.
love it.
Yes.
I love it. Again,
Thank
thank
you.
you just for the dynamic information in this time frame of just so much gem and knowledge was dropped. I don't know about you guys, but as y'all probably seen, my pen and stuff was going up because I was taking notes. I always tell people I'm a teacher and a student at all
Yeah.
times. I'm always learning. So I gain so
Yeah.
much information that I'm going to take with myself. So I thank you for that. I thank you for your time. I know you have so many amazing things that you do. So thank you for that. And with that, how can they find you? How can they connect? You talked about your books. Please let
Yeah.
us know where we can gain all that information.
So you can find me on LinkedIn. Please LinkedIn me. And I always ask, like, how are we connecting? Right? Tell me that you see me on the Takers and the Doers, the podcast, right? Behind the Doers. I love that, right? Let me know you've seen it on there. Or I do have my book. Where's my book? Where's my book? Here's my book. I have my book somewhere. Anyway, it's on Amazon.com. It's 10 Tremendous Leadership Lessons. You'll see me. I got the coach pose. Yeah, but LinkedIn is the main location that you can connect with me.
And I
So
will
thank you
have
for
that
that.
information also drop also how you can get her book as well. So all that will
Yeah,
be in there for you guys to make sure you connect. And I
yeah,
always say if you have any questions, if you don't just go straight and connect with her, if you need to drop them in the
yeah,
comments on YouTube, I will make sure she gets to them. As you guys see, she's a breath of knowledge and don't mind speaking and talking. So
yeah,
I know it's
yeah,
going to be great whatever you ask her. So we thank you
yeah.
for that.
Thank you for this platform. Congratulations to you, because you bring voice to our journeys.
Mhm.
And that's a testament to your journey
Yeah.
that you're able to give, right? You're a giver, right? And you're giving us a platform to help, like both of us. We're both helping other people. So, congratulations to you, and keep doing what you are doing.
Oh, thank you. And people that
Indeed.
know my audience, I'm a big crybaby, especially. So my mom always say, "You so emotional, you talk too much." Now I'm saying the Lord paving a way for me to get paid to do this. In the name of Jesus, I'm receiving
Amen.
it. But with that said, you guys know how I always end every episode with telling you, don't just talk about change. Be the doer of the change that you desire and you want to see. We're gonna see you guys on the next one.